We have now seen all or part of 9 of Notre Dame's 17 training camp practices to date. There will be one more on Sunday. This is Parents' Weekend. Notre Dame's students and athletes are moving in, and today was a truncated version again, our final viewing, but maybe a little bit cause for pause with what we had deemed a very successful camp for Jonathan Dorr. He was 2 for 5 today. 3 of the misses were kind of ugly. I will say the ones that go in, he does drill down the middle and very high up in the net, but a little bit of concern, I guess, because the ball wasn't coming off the same way we had seen it all of camp.
That's the first we've seen him struggle since really early in camp. I wouldn't read too much into it. He's been good a majority of the time. I think I was on the defensive side of the ball today, and we're always looking for, okay, who are the starters? And the goal is to play more players at a variety of positions, and maybe that's what we're seeing, because Jack Lamb came out with the number one in defense at Buck linebacker with Asmar Bilal. And a bunch of mixing and matching a corner. The first 2 corners to come out were Dante Vaughn and Troy Pride. Troy Pride's always the constant. He remains on the field. So maybe we're reading too much into it. Maybe they're just going to play that many players, but a bunch of mixing and matching once again on the defensive side of the ball.
No huge change offensively with Lawrence Keys joined the wide receivers of the first unit. If you're looking for Keys in the slot or at the X, I think that's what the opponents will be looking for too, because the Fink lined up in both spots often. The first man in seemed to be Joe Wilkins. He actually started in the slot, but he lined up and took reps with X receivers. Going down to the scout team was Micah Jones and Kevin Austin, and I believe Cam Hart. Isaiah Robertson did stay up. I think that's more along the lines of he's a W receiver. They're short on W receiver, so he's getting some work there. And if you're looking for running backs, they have 5. They're all set. And Jameer Smith got some extra work today, and he is quick to the hole, and I think as the season progresses and his hand heals, we'll see a lot of him.
Yeah, Brian Kelly said the other day that some of the guys that were on the prep team would switch with others, and that makes sense because Isaiah Robertson had such a good Saturday last weekend. You mentioned that Kareem had the twisted ankle, which he struggled with all last season. He was not running with the ones today. It was Ade Ogundeji, who is really a 1A. I mean, I think that is he a Khalid Kareem? Maybe not quite to that level, but I do think he's a 1A, a guy that you can feel pretty confident that you can insert him in there in any situation. He's going to give you a number one's effort.
You mentioned Drew White did come out when they did a little bit of 11 on 11 against the scout team at Mike linebacker. I think you're right. It's mixing and matching. They probably know what they want to do, but it's not what they want to do the whole season. I think they know what they want to do for Louisville, so they're repping them for the entire season still.
I think we can pretty confidently say at this point that the base defense is White and Bilal. And probably Vaughn and Pride too. Now Pride, like I said, he stays on field, so he's interchangeable at field and boundary, which gives them some flexibility with some other guys. But I don't. And then sometimes it's a left-right situation because it looked like Vaughn was playing, some field corner too. So a lot of mixing and matching. I think that's good. I think the depth has been built. I think that they're at a point where their confidence level is, our depth is good enough here that we can play multiple players at multiple positions.
It was 5 periods today, so we'll have similar bullet-pointed practice reports. There'll be a lot of positional content kind of left over from Media Day, talking to all 10 assistants throughout the weekend. We will have our next podcast, Irish Illustrated Insider, on Monday, August 26th.